right, guys, this is my favorite time of year, bracketology time. We've got these picks lined up, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm going to start with that East region. I like Duke over Siena. There's going to be no doubt that they're going to win that game. Ohio State's getting hot, so I'm not going to overlook them. St. John's has been doing extremely well. I'm a little nervous about Kansas, but I don't think they'll have any issue in the first round. Louisville's underseeded. Michigan State's going to advance easily, and never bet against a Rich Cronin team. We've got UConn advancing here, and now let's move down to the South region. We've got Florida, no issues there. Let's see, Clemson and Iowa. That's going to be a toss-up. I'm going to end up going with Clemson on this one. Vanderbilt, I think they did amazing in the SEC tournament, and Nebraska's been having a lot of trouble. I'm going to need to look at Troy because I haven't watched a lot of their games, but I think Nebraska will ultimately advance in this one. North Carolina and VCU, this could be tough. North Carolina is missing a few key players. I think VCU ultimately advances to play Illinois, who has no trouble with Penn. St. Mary's and Texas A&M. This one's going to be a toss-up as well. I feel like Texas A&M's been doing fairly well this year, but St. Mary's, I don't know, it's hard to bet against them, but ultimately I think, yeah, this will be a little bit, I don't know if you call 10-7 an upset, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's an upset. And then Houston over Idaho. Now let's move on to that West region. Arizona over LIU. Villanova and Utah State. I think Utah State ends up taking Villanova. This is the 1-12-5 upset. I really think High Point has a good chance of beating Wisconsin, so I'm going to give the nod to High Point. Arkansas just made a huge run in that SEC tournament. BYU and Texas versus North Carolina State. Now, I got to be honest, this game's going on right now. I wanted to do my picks during the Luck of the Irish St. Patrick's Day, so I took a little bit of a break. I still think Texas actually wins this one, at least the NC State game, and I don't know if they're going to beat BYU. I think BYU is subpar, so I'm going to give the nod to, I'm going to have a little bit of faith and say Texas wins this game. We've got Gonzaga over Kennesaw State, Miami and Missouri. I think Missouri's been slumping, so Miami will take this one, and Purdue, they've gotten so hot. I don't know if you saw that Big Ten tournament. Speaking of, they beat Michigan, but Michigan advances here. We've got St. Louis and Georgia. I like St. Louis in this one. And I think there's another 12-5 upset here. And I'm probably going to only be right on one of them. I know you're going to probably, trash talk, and that's okay. I love trash talking, but I think 2 12-5 upsets are better than having 0 and not having any fun in this game. Alabama, I think they're going to beat Hofstra. Tennessee and Miami of Ohio. I'm actually nervous for Tennessee in this one, and I know everyone's going to say that, they should easily take down Miami of Ohio because they had a weak strength of schedule. But I think I'm going to give Miami, Ohio, the nod over Tennessee here. Virginia and Wright State. We've got Kentucky over Santa Clara playing Iowa State. Now let's move on to round 2. So that's round 1. Now we'll start with Duke over Ohio State. They're going to play St. John's. St. John's is, I'm surprised they're a 5 seed. They should have been a 3. Even Louisville, I think they'll beat Michigan State to take on UConn here. And then we'll go to the South region. We've got Florida advancing to play rematch with Vanderbilt. That'll be interesting. And then we've got Illinois over VCU playing Houston. Let's go to the West region. We've got Arizona over Utah State. I think High Point's run ends here and Arkansas advances. And then we've got Gonzaga. They always get hot in the tournament, even though they haven't had a great year, and they're going to play Purdue. And then let's move to the Midwest. We've got Michigan advancing to play Alabama. And then we've got Virginia over SMU or Miami of Ohio to play Iowa State. The Big 12, I didn't realize how much I like the Big 12 in this tournament, but looks like there's a lot of great teams there. Now let's move on to the Sweet 16. We've got Duke and St. John's. I actually am nervous for Duke, but I think ultimately they pull this out. I think they're going to barely win this game to end up playing none other than UConn. That'll be, I know it's chalk right there, but let's go to that South region. I think that's just the most logical. I think Vanderbilt's going to give Florida a run for their money and ultimately upset Florida. And a lot of people are going to hate that pick, but I want to hear why. And then we've got Illinois and Houston, and I know that Illinois doesn't really look good against Houston. Houston's been playing a lot better basketball, and Illinois has just been slumping. But I think they get hot in this at the right time this year. And then we've got the Midwest. Let's move to Michigan and Alabama. I think Michigan ultimately moves forward here, and they advance to play Virginia or Iowa State. Oh, this will be an interesting one. I think Iowa State ends up pulling that one out. Oh, I think I skipped the, there we go. I skipped the West region. That's okay. We'll move up. We'll move back to the West region, and we've got Arizona, Arkansas. And I think they're going to end up playing Purdue. Purdue's, again, really hot. They made a huge run in that Big Ten tournament. They won the Big Ten tournament. And then we've got Duke and UConn. So we've got 1-2, just to look at it, 3-5. So that's the only interesting region because I think Florida is the weakest 1 seed. We've got 1-2, and we've got 1-2. Gosh, I kind of wanted to switch to Virginia, but I made that pick. I'm going to stand by it. And we've got Duke and UConn. Duke's going to have no problem with UConn. They're not a great team this year. Illinois goes to the Final Four after, I don't know how long. They made it to the Elite Eight a few years ago. We've got Arizona and Purdue. I think ultimately Arizona pulls us out. And then we've got Iowa State over Michigan. I think Michigan's, they showed a couple weak spots towards the end of their season. Now we've got Duke and Illinois. Man, my heart says pick Illinois, but my brain says Duke's going to be a much better team overall, top to bottom. They're going to have no problems with Illinois. And then we've got Arizona and Iowa State. I like Arizona in this one. And Arizona over and Duke, that's going to be a really interesting one. I know Duke's been the overall number 1 seed, but I think Arizona ultimately wins this. So that's my pick for the 2026 NCAA March Madness bracket winner. We've got Arizona winning the chip. Hopefully we've got the luck of the Irish on my side, but feel free to trash talk whenever any of these teams lose because I know that some of you are going to beat me. But a lot of you hopefully will not be beating me this year. And if you think you can beat me, go ahead and join my bracket pool. I'll put the link below in this description. That's Andy Tech signing out.